Weird things that have happened traveling down the road. Um, Driving back from Arizona one time, we were rolling through this little town, and it was the first time I'd ever seen a hotel that was very like sci-fi related. Um, witnessing that was pretty weird, especially being like Arizona, so you get that whole like Area 51 vibe, even though that's in like New Mexico.
Right.
That was pretty sketchy. Um, there was another time. It's a funny story I should probably bring up, but we did have a group of us was traveling together. We went up to North Cal. We were traveling back, and we were traveling back into the grapevine, coming out of Bakersfield, and you get in the they're in the mountain
Oh
areas, right?
yeah,
And
the grapevine. Yes, I know exactly. Right over Six Flags in that one straight line. Oh my God,
yeah,
that drive was nuts.
so you got all you're up in those mountain areas and different things like that, and there's no like rest stops or anything like that. There was a whole group of us. We had a guy, our guy driving us. And I'm not gonna say that maybe a couple of beverages were not partaken of or anything like that. So, we just got done, having a good show and different things like that. So, we were coming back and we had to use the restroom. So wasn't nowhere to stop or anything like that. So we just decided, I'm from the South. I was like, just pull over on the side of the road, man. I'll put you right here. So we all get out and we do our business and we get back in the car and three of us got out, but two of us got back in the car, and
Oh,
we were missing somebody. We were like, okay, where's so and so? And he didn't come back. It was a good like 5 to 8 minutes, and then when I finally got out of the car and I started. I was like, hey, where are you? And I didn't hear nothing until I finally heard a grunt sound. I was like, ugh. And I was like, oh no. And I looked down. I had a light in my truck. I grab a flashlight, look down, and the
he got
guy
hit.
was it. No, he was in the middle of a briar bush.
Ooh.
He fell off the side of the cliff.
Oh.
A good He fell off the side of a cliff a good like 20. It's probably a good. I'd want to say a good like 15 feet, maybe 15, 20 feet. And
Damn.
luckily he landed. As much as it sucks to say, he landed in some briars, in a bush.
Ooh,
Yeah.
Um,
those prickers.
but yeah, so we like go down the hill and we're like falling down the hill. It was a steep hill, and we go down there and we get him and we like pick him up, and and you can only imagine. I mean, we weren't bad off or anything like that, but you can only imagine the contact of luckily he was a wrestler and he knew how to fall properly. So we get him up. He was hurting though, you know what I mean, and we get him up the hill and get him back in the truck, and we continue to travel home. But he was hurting for the next couple of days, and the guy's a good guy. Me and him continue to this day. We pick on one another about it. I didn't get consent to mention his name or anything like that, but if he hears this podcast and he wants to chime in on it, he can sure enough chime in on it. But it was one of the funniest things. It wasn't funny at the time when he fell. I was scared to death. I thought, he is a very good friend of mine. Yeah, I thought he was seriously injured. But he ended up, being okay, and it was just one of those. We laugh about it to this day about it. So one of the weirdest things that's ever happened.
And if
Yeah.
that individual is listening and maybe wants to tell their side of the story, you are welcome to come on.
There you go.
How to take a mountain bump.
Yeah, he pretty much did. The way he describes it, he said he did like the prettiest swanton he's ever done before. And guys, and this isn't no little guy. He's probably solid at the time, a good 270, 280. So
Took a magic mountain bump, dude.
yeah, so it was like I said, I did get consent to tell the story. So if he's listening, he wants to chime in on it or anything like that, maybe you guys can get him on the show. He can tell his side of the story. So it was one of the funniest things ever.
I think that brings up the great philosophical question. If a wrestler takes a swanton off a mountain and no one's around to see it, does it make a sound?
I don't think so because we didn't hear him.